All right, and welcome back, chat. This is Sinith coming in for Titanfall 2 80% race. Sanaka and SpectralSmitty going to be racing here in just a moment. Take it away, Couch.
Hello, hi. Welcome to Titanfall 2. This is going to be pretty exciting because we've got both a controller player and a keyboard player here, Sanaka and Smitty. Let's just do like a round of introductions in alphabetical order.
All right, so hello, I'm Angry Space Dorito. I'm here on commentary with Zweek. I hold 25th place on the 90% boards currently, and I also do art, I guess. I don't know.
Hi, I'm Sanaka. I'm currently the 18th place on the 80% leaderboards right now. I am the resident big weep speedrunner in the community. And I will be representing the mouse and keyboard for this race today.
I'm a SpectralSmitty. Used to play this game on PS4. Now I play controller on PC. I haven't looked at my spot on the leaderboard in a long time, but I'm slightly slower than Sanaka.
All right,
yeah, runners are pretty even here.
Yeah, you heard me a bit earlier. I'm Zweek. Hello. I also play this game sometimes. So
sometimes,
really,
occasionally. So yeah, let's just get started on the load screens, and then we can do a countdown to get started with the run.
All right, I'm all set here.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Just before you go, because I know you're going to be going fast paced, we have a $250 donation coming in right now from Anonymous. Thank you so much, chat.
Wow.
right from the get-go.
right from the get-go
already.
All right, awesome. Well, let's carry that momentum directly into the run. Should I just do a countdown real quick? Alrighty,
yeah, let's do it.
We'll start in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Well, that was a fast start. All right, so this is Titanfall 2. It's a military sci-fi FPS made by Respawn Entertainment. That name may sound familiar because they're the same people that made Apex Legends, which is a much more popular game. But funnily enough, Apex Legends and Titanfall are in the same universe, and they also run on pretty much the same engine, which is actually a very heavily modified version of the source engine. So you're gonna see, like, right at the beginning, some very typical source style movements. So if you've ever seen a source speedrun like Portal 2, which happened earlier today, you're gonna see movement like that. You're gonna see like the side to side air strafing and bee hopping, where you move in a curve through the air by holding left and right, and also looking left and right according to in accordance with those inputs. And it's gonna allow you to actually gain speed in the air. So all of that sort of source sort of tech does carry over in Titanfall 2. In addition to what you just saw, a wall run. So Titanfall 2 is like all is like filled with. I just thought like there's a slight delay, but I just kind of saw Sanaka fall there. I didn't actually lose any time because of the intro is like all tied to Lastimos' dialogue, which is like the pilot that's teaching you.
Yeah.
But yeah, coming up to reload skip, and right after we're gonna see some damage boosts. Dorito, tell us a little bit about damage boosts.
Okay, so yeah, damage boosts in the gauntlet specifically. We're gonna grab some grenades off of these shelves here, and we're going to hold them, pull the pin, and let them explode in our hands. And because this is the gauntlet, this is all simulated, and we don't actually die here. We take damage. You can see that the screen is going all black and white because FPS, but we don't actually die, and this allows us to reach the damage boost speed cap, like 90 kilometers an hour, which is still like blazing fast. And like by the time I'm done, we're already done with the gauntlet, and we're moving on to the next sequence, where I can tell you more about one of the first things you might have noticed, which is the game is running in a different language. It is running on Mandarin Chinese, and that is due to us discovering at some point, like a couple years ago, I think, that switching to Mandarin actually saves about 36 seconds just because of the dialogues and stuff transpiring a lot quicker.
Yeah, it's actually quite interesting how much time it really saves. Like in a lot of games, the amount of time saved from different languages isn't really that huge, but like 38 seconds, even though the run is like an hour and 20 minutes long for most people, that is still a very, very significant amount of time to just get from, changing one setting when you launch the game.
So now our paradise of invincibility has been ruined by the villains of the game, and now we're gonna go beat them up.
That's a very over-exaggerated way to say it. But
yeah. We're gonna beat them up, but like do it fast.
Yeah, I think another interesting thing about the language is we also have noticed while the voice acting is in Chinese, the subtitles are still in English on both screens, and that's not normally in the game. That's actually due to a mod called Menu Mod, which is like one of the few mods that we actually allow for the speedrun, which adds a whole bunch of super nice just quality of life features for speedrunners, like reset binds in some versions, and like time scale to and like quick saves to like and like practice tools generally. And they also changed the menus back to English, which is very convenient, so you don't have to memorize all of the Chinese text, which you would otherwise have to do if you didn't have the mod.
Brought to you by our local Australian Taskinos.
Yep,
Yeah,
thank you,
true.
Desky. So now we're on to one of the really long cutscenes in the beginning of the game, which will be followed by the infamous 18-hour cutscene, named this way due to one of the dialogues. So we're we're going on the planet Typhon, which is controlled by the IMC, or Interstellar Manufacturing Corporation, the mustache-twirling villains of the game.
Try to say that without stuttering.
Yes. And after we crash our little life pod here, we're going to enter a quick grunt section. You can also see a ringed structure in the background, which is actually where the game will finish. So yeah, a little bit of foreshadowing. So we are Jack Cooper, just ordinary guy in the militia fighting against the IMC. And we don't have our jump kit, double jumps, wall runs, all that. But we do have one thing that I guess the developers forgot to remove, which is slide boosts, which allow us to do the most common movement tech in the game, which is called slide hopping, which Zwick explained. And for some reason we can just still use our slide boost, which gets us up to 35, 36 kilometers an hour. And we're just going to use that to very quickly clear this section without actually having to kill anyone.
That grunt almost trolled me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just saw that even with the delay. Yeah, I did go into sword style movement at the beginning, but I didn't specifically say slide hopping, which is like the version of V hopping that we use in Titanfall 2, because instead of
oh my God, Smitty, I told you.
Smitty, no.
I'll pause it. Wait till she's not gonna cut
Okay.
Okay.
So what Smitty just did here was forget to remove a setting that skips this really long cutscene here.
Yeah, this is a great time to talk about the 18-hour
rule
bypass,
changes, yes.
which is a recent rule change that happened, where you can see on Sanaka's screen how there's still a cutscene going, and this cutscene is 2-3 minutes long, and because it's right at the beginning,
wrong.
it's really long, and because of that, it's infamously named the 18-hour cutscene, because Blisk also in the English voiceover he says we have 18 hours until the arc is sealed and ready for delivery.
Is over.
Yeah. And because it's that early on in the run, usually in speedrun you'd see the timer start out with a certain amount of time added already. So for example in Portal 1, even though that's also a little bit out of date, you would start with 55 seconds on the timer already, because there's a really big intro cutscene. We can't really do that in Titanfall 2 because this really long cutscene isn't right at the beginning, but after we've already played the game for a bit. So thanks to our certified good dude Fizzy, he actually wrote a component for live split and the auto splitter that would skip the cutscene. It would just load a save after the cutscene is over, and then automatically re-inject the time back into the timer. And that's exactly what happened on Smitty's Smitty's screen, because that's something that happens automatically, and that's a setting that you have to like actively turn off, because most people just run with that setting on now because it's just so convenient.
Yeah,
and-
it's definitely a setting that you probably wouldn't want to have when you're in a marathon run, because there definitely is a lot to explain, and having this downtime is more than helpful for us to really explain what's going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. The cutscene
So-
does give us a lot of time to just go over some things before we actually really get going with the game.
So
on,
starting off
Sonic-
here,
Yeah, go ahead.
you guys might have seen this the corpse that fell down the river. Yeah, well, guess what? It's gone. Reduced to
Yeah.
atoms.
Never to be seen again.
So yeah, this is a really cool robot here, and we want that robot because like look at it, it's cool.
Oh no, human being!
Oh no, human inside! Kill him!
Oh
shoot
my
him!
God.
Shoot him! Kill him!
Wait,
oh,
no,
wait.
that was last.
Oh.
That's the guy
Oh,
that in the
that's last-
tutorial.
oh,
Oh,
he's
no.
killed
We
Oh,
killed him,
we-
guys.
We've killed him dead now.
Oh no!
We've killed him
dude.
dead. Oh no.
What a shame.
Oh well, time to take his jump kits and his robot. His
Might as
Titan.
well.
Might as well. Totally not
Uh,
part of the plan.
Tell me
I
when
think
can
right
go.
here. I think right here we do have time for just one small donation before we kick off this chapter.
All right, let me quickly check to see if there's any new donations that just came in. We do have a $5 donation from Anonymous that says, does it save time? Kill time? I don't know, but Marvin should die all the same. Good luck with the runners.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Oh my god,
That's
that's brutal.
big.
Smitty, I think you
Alright.
can on pause now as well. So
Yeah.
You can both get going.
Yeah, so this is where the run actually takes off now. We are no longer encumbered by any extremely long cutscenes, but we still don't have our double jump yet due to game reasons. Like the jump kit is calibrating, yeah. But we do have our wall running, and one thing about BT is if you see like every single surface, every single pebble, all of that has very precise geometry just in there. So any little pebble or like any new like slanted surface can lose you a lot of speed, and this is one of the reasons BT is one of the hardest levels in the game, due to the jank geometry, not having our double jump for this first segment, and like a plethora of other reasons. And yeah.
Did Sanaka just mess up Death River?
I've indeed messed up Death
What?
River, the biggest mistake of my life.
Iconically named Death River because it's actually deceptively difficult. It doesn't look like a huge gap, but like specifically because we don't have our double jump here, you have to like space out your jumps really well in order to actually
Yeah.
cross the gap and not die.
Yeah.
Smitty's coming up on the first battery here.
Doing the set strat as well. That's a different strat that no one really does because it's really hard. But
Easier
Actually,
controller.
is that like a full? Actually, I think that was like a changed version.
Yeah, it's a changed version. I don't go all the way up.
Oh, right. Yeah, there's
This is-
a different version where you go like all the way up and like into the debris where there's like a bunch of walls that you can't actually grab and wall run on. But we can already see both players now have like their full movement set, so they've now gained their the double jump back. So every piece of movement that was introduced at the beginning of the tutorial is now available to us.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm also going to talk about slant boosts now, which is what we'll see Sanaka doing right now. A slant boost is sliding on a slanted surface, and due to us having a lot of vertical momentum, hitting a slide like at just the right angle on that exact slide transfers all of that vertical momentum to horizontal and gives us a lot of speed to hold this frag and kill all these grunts to give BT his battery and then go get a second one because he's a very hungry boy.
Very hungry.
Yeah, if you've played the other TF2, Team Fortress 2, and you've played Demo Knight and like Trimped, you can kind of think of a slant boost as like a reverse Trimp, where instead of, going horizontal to vertical, we're going from vertical into horizontal.
This
I
is,
do not know how I survived that.
Oh my god.
This
Oh,
is
yeah,
where we should probably talk about wall
So close to
kicks
the edge.
here. Wall kicks are a piece of tech that involve kicking a wall. So our wall run actually loses us a bit of speed if we're going like faster than 42 kilometers an hour. It slows us down to that. But if we hit a wall and jump off of it immediately, talking about like within 5 in-game ticks, the game calculates stuff at like 60 ticks per second instead of like doing it frame by frame. So we have 5/60ths of a second to press our jump input after hitting a wall, and depending on how quick we do it, we gain a little bit of speed, which with like a first tick input giving us like the biggest wall kick boost available, which is like what, 10 kilometers.
Yeah, it's roughly 10 kilometers an hour, and yeah, like a first tick wall kick will give you that, and like the slower you jump off of the wall, the less speed you will gain from that because you're spending more time getting affected by wall friction, effectively.
So now we've given BT his double A's, and we're going into Titan tutorial after a brief cutscene, which is another reason why BT is a really hard level. So after this cutscene, we're not gonna be able to move immediately with BT. We have to clear this section of robots that are coming for us. One of the first abilities we'll cover is Vortex Shield, like the first one that you get. It's a shield that enemies will shoot at it, but after we let go of the shield, we will shoot those bullets right back at them. And we're going to follow very strict patterns in order to, first of all, kill all of them, and second of all, do it fast.
Yeah, this Titan tutorial segment is actually the first like part. I think like the only part in the run where there's like actual like genuine RNG that can lose you significant time, because the way the enemies shoot at you and the way the bullet spread comes back at the enemies is random to an extent. Sometimes it seems to work really consistently, and other times it just control you really hard. And specifically because you need to kill the enemies, there's like the whole thing is spread into like 7 different waves, and you need to kill like a certain amount of enemies. You can see Sanaka's getting really unlucky, by the way.
Turns out I was
lucky
on hard
too.
the entire time.
Oh my god.
Well, that explains it. The bullet spread is a bit different on different difficulties. The higher the difficulty, the more inconsistent it becomes.
Yeah.
But you have to kill like a certain amount of enemies from each wave so that new enemies start spawning in, and then you keep going and keep killing more enemies from each wave. And it's a whole thing. It's like super specifically routed out, but it's you can't really even with that route, you can't like completely get around the RNG that is in this segment.
Yeah.
Just from the
And now
first.
we're having our first Titan fight over on Smitty's side. We're going to pop some electric smoke for damage over time, shoot him, then keep shooting him even if he has his vortex shield on. And we're going to use our own vortex shield to reflect all the bullets that we fired at him at first. So it's called the no you strat, even though the Titan tries to know you us first, but then we know you the no you. It's
Yeah.
like a no you squared.
Pretty much, yeah. Sanaka got a little bit unlucky there. Was running out of ammo. That is a thing that can happen if you miss
Yeah,
too many
had
shots
to-
and run out of ammo and have to melee there. But meleeing is actually a pretty good backup because melee does is useful for like a good finishing off sort of damage at the end.
So now we're on to Blood and Rust, a very movement-heavy level, and it also features a bunch of corridors, a bunch of tight turns, and this is where the difference between controller and keyboard is really going to show. But first, we have a bit of Titan movement. You can see Smitty is spacing out his... Oh no, no tone slide.
Oh, so sad.
Oh, unlucky.
Yeah. So generally, when we are in a Titan, we always want to be dashing. We never want to have a full 2 dashes, which you can see how full it is on the bottom part of the screen. And yeah, we're doing a strat called early disembark. We're not supposed to be disembarking until like later on after we've killed these 2 Titans that show up here. But we can just go into this room here to skip all that and activate the next sequence
Make clear
early.
comms for a sec. Audio cue.
Yep.
You're good.
All right, nice.
All right.
Yeah, so I think before we get into like the big differences between keyboard and controller, which we can actually, or I think actually no, let's talk about that like right now because there's a good segment for that coming up. So, really quick explanation: keyboard is different from controller in the fact that keyboard has access to a mechanic called strafe lurch, which effectively means that anytime after you jump, you press a movement key, you will get sort of nudged in that direction, but you'll also lose a little bit of speed in the process. So what keyboard players effectively have access to is every time you jump, you can intentionally hit those keys like multiple times in a row and sort of get nudged in that direction multiple times, and that allows you to take like really, really tight corners. And that's something that controller, for example, can't do because it's on analog inputs.
Oh no, Smitty.
Smitty's
Having
having a
a
lot of
time here.
trouble with Sniper Canal right now, which is unfortunate.
Gives Sanaka time to catch up.
Yeah, giving Sanaka some time to catch up, and then on Sanaka stream we'll be able to see what it looks like when you take advantage of strafe lurch in the short like U-turn in the tight hallway. On controller, if you have a lot of speed, you can kind of see it there, like boom, boom. The two really, really sharp turns. Usually you turn much slower. Controller doesn't have access to that, so it has to kind of take a wider line and often just bump into that wall so that movement gets redirected. And there's a lot of like differences. We'll get it back into it a bit more later, like especially in Effect and Cause Chapter 2, where like different lines really come into play.
Now we're going to come up on another section which features a bump launch. A bump launch is a piece of tech which allows us to shove ourselves into a corner, hold crouch, and spam jump, which basically just launches us upwards, which we need in this vertical section here. You can see it on Smitty's screen, and on Sanaka's as well. And we're going to segue into Sludge Skip, the first major sequence break of the game. Usually, if you remember playing this game casually, you'll remember that there was a several-minute fight that goes on here, but instead, we're going to hit the button that actually starts the whole sludge clearing process, but instead we're going to go into a hole in what's supposed to be just straight collision in order to reach BT. Oh no, Sonic, Smitty.
Mistake.
Got it. I got it. It's fine.
Yeah, we can embark in BT through that wall, and we're going on to the Kane boss fight.
You're getting really close. Sanaka's just like pulling ahead just a tiny bit, but you're really close together now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that
was-
embark through the fence is pretty huge. It kind of looks like a lot is happening, but it is actually one of the simpler skips. Like most of the like big skips in the game are actually fairly simple and easy to pull off. There is a bit of like dialogue manipulation that we have to do to make sure that BT actually stays in place, but that's pretty much it. And now we have Kane fight, which is the first boss fight, like first actual boss fight that we do in the game. Right at the beginning here, we can stack our acolyte pods. We're actually just like a missile barrage on this brute in front to just clear him as quickly as possible, and then use the rest of our ammo to clear out Kane and do a swap reload in the middle of it, which basically a swap reload is basically like an animation cancel. We swap to that different loadout and then swap back, and every time we do that, it refreshes our ammo and just fills it up immediately, so that we don't have to reload manually.
Oh my god, that is synced. That is...
Are we actually synced?
You're actually synced.
Wow.
I don't have enough screen real estate to see what Sanaka's up to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me neither.
Now that we've killed Kane, we have like a straight minute of cutscene. Or, well, not cutscene, but just doing nothing, so we have time for a donation.
All right. Well, we have a huge donation that came in from Anonymous for $200. That puts us at $2,955 raised so far for the charity, everyone. Wow.
That's
But I just want to remind chat real quick, because these couple of last donations have not gone towards incentives. We have Save or Kill Mervin. Currently, Kill is ahead by $5. We also have Upgrade All DLC for a hat in time, which is $15. towards the $100 goal to get that. Let's do it, chat.
I want to see $3,000 before we finish this run.
Oh yeah.
Smitty, I hate to say it, but I'm officially behind now.
Wait. So, no way.
Sanaka, okay.
I actually cannot believe you just did that.
So what Sanaka did was he went out of bounds with a bump launch and didn't go back in before the timer killed him. And now he had to do the entire Kane boss fight again.
Yeah,
Okay, that was a fast one.
That's
That's
pretty
a
big.
very
That's a
big
pretty
lead
big
that
time
Smitty
loss, I'm not
has
gonna
now.
lie.
And very stupid as well.
Yeah, that's like entirely unnecessary because you don't have to do that bump launch at all. Like that is 100% for show. And so
I just wanted to show off, and I failed spectacularly.
Sanaka tried to be swaggy, and it really backfired.
Yeah.
So now we have.
It's what they
Abyss
it's what
into the Abyss.
to call-
we'll just commentate over Smitty's footage now.
Yeah.
It's a
We're
solo
coming
run.
we're coming up on wall boost here, which we will now see. Let's
I decided to go for it. I didn't have enough.
No.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Okay, so we've seen there is Smitty timed his Titan dashes in a way that got him in front of that wall, which moves really fast, and usually we use it to get a shortcut to the other side of that hallway. But if you get it, if you get unlucky, the game will just decide, no, you will die. Oh, or you can do something like that. Yeah.
Whatever that was.
You know, that prevents you from dying, which you know, the fact
Yeah.
that the wall does kill you occasionally is why it's also named it's also gained the very funny alternative nickname of vibe check, because if you just kind of get unlucky or you do it wrong, you get kind of bonked on the head and lose about 40 seconds,
Yeah, it's a very big time loss.
because the checkpoint that you have to reload at the end there is can be really punishing. It sets you back super far, especially because, you know, while you were in a Titan, we can't really move as fast as we could when we're just disembarked in the pilot, which Smitty literally just did. It's so perfectly synced to my commentary.
So now we're going to enable this, click this button which brings the elevator to us, and then we're going to click another button on the elevator which actually removes the kill floor that's on the level, and after clearing the button we can just fall into this death pit, but it doesn't actually kill us, it just loads the next level.
Yeah, the trigger to... Oh my god, Sanaka also died.
Sanaka also
from
failed.
I also failed the vibe check, dude. No.
No! Dude, the vibe check is really not having it today. It's being tough.
It's really we were actually practicing the other day, and both Smitty and I actually got the vibe check.
Yeah, when we were
So
like
it hurts.
rehearsing and like practicing, we were kind of hoping for like one to die and the other to hit it, so we could have like a perfect example of both at the same time. But now we have 2 deaths and hopefully 2 successes after Sanaka gets this.
I don't think. Oh my goodness.
Oh my!
So, oh my,
that was actually kind of brutal. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, maybe you just want to disembark for the next.
Yeah,
attempt, because
I'll definitely disembark after this. It was
That's
just a
the
little bit
safety
surprising because it killed me a lot earlier than I anticipated it to be. I'm gonna admit, but yeah.
so
Enough-
safety
enough-
spot for that is to just
on Smitty's
disembark.
side, we're seeing all this cool movement on this next solo Abyss 2. Like, we're just launching ourselves around, and we'll get to the launching, but first we need to clear something about Abyss 2. All the cool movement you're seeing actually does not matter, because this level, Abyss 2, is an auto-scroller. And it's an auto-scroller because all these platforms that we see around the level are on a very strict set cycle, and the game will not progress until one of those platforms just catches up to us, and we're going really ahead of them in this route called Toad Spice route, which just circles around the entire level and gets us to the very last platform before we have to catch a ride. And while we're there, we like to do a little. We like to put 2 robots to fight against each other. The original name is copyrighted, so we're just going to call it Legally Distinct Crimson vs. Azure.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to hack one of the robots with our hacky MacGuffin knife, and make it fight against the other one. The one that we hack is blue, and the other is red. Therefore, Crimson versus Azure.
Yeah, and we are not allowed to say
The other one.
versus red and blue in a very specific order, or else we
Oh.
will get sued by
Oh my
former
goodness.
world record holder Binato.
It's getting
I
me all of
accidentally
you,
killed
right?
one.
You accidentally killed one? I can't believe you've done this.
Also, the other one,
dude.
I
You
didn't
might be
have
able to
much
do man
time
versus
left.
machine then.
You might be
if,
able to, yeah, you can't do man versus
Oh.
machine. That's
Oh,
the one
right,
that
you
he
did
goes
both of
for.
them.
All of them
Justice.
were dead.
Smitty
have much-
wins! Man,
Well-
the pilot wins! Let's go!
Yeah, the platforms are pretty close anyway, so it's likely that if we had gone for the fight thingy, it wouldn't have lasted very long because we would have had to just, get going and get on the platform anyway.
Another thing while Smitty is waiting for the auto-scroller, on Sanaka's side you will see that he is launching himself off of a platform very fast, as you can see. This is due to a mechanic called platform velocity. Basically, when you're on a moving platform, and that platform has speed, and you jump off of the platform, you retain the speed of that platform. I said platform a lot there. You inherit its velocity, and we can just do crazy jumps like that. And we're also going to use it in the upcoming Dome launch, and subsequently the next big sequence break in the game, Dome Skip.
Yeah, so Smitty's already coming up to Dome Launch, which is, like Dorito said, that's where we're going to be using platform velocity. I don't know if you said this, but the platform velocity does not only apply to our first jump, but it also applies to our double jump as well. So specifically, if we get launched up or down, the game doesn't actually care if we've already jumped off of the platform. It applies the velocity to every single jump we do after that until we touch another surface. So we're seeing that on Smitty's screen right now.
Went a little early.
Oh yeah, that's a bit of an early input. That is still okay though. You can
Yeah,
you
that's
can back it
a
up
lot-
very well.
Yeah, that's a lot better than climbing the whole way.
Yeah, for sure. Usually you want to jump a little bit later there, and you would hit the wall a bit higher. You would get launched a little bit higher. The timing there for that can be
It's
a
very
little bit
precise.
tricky.
Yeah.
It's not like super precise, but the visual cue you have for it can be a little. It's not like the most consistent thing, I'll say. Although it doesn't change, but it's a trick that can kind of come and go, I'll say. Like
Yeah.
sometimes you'll have streaks where you're getting it every time, and sometimes you'll have a lot of trouble with it until you just start, sitting down and labbing it, and just getting consistent again.
So Smitty has just done a very precise, frame perfect, position perfect subpixel manipulation trick,
That we
where
will not
we just
explain.
that we just
not
clip
explain
through
how
the
it
wall. No, but for real, there is just no collision in that wall, and we can just go on and go to this very specific spot, which is because we get teleported to an alternate version of this dome, and we position ourselves right above the end level trigger, which is ever present, and there's actually a very big bounty in order to skip the auto-scroller section and get directly to the end level trigger. The bounty is sitting at like $2,000 currently.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, like how huge the bounty is, and it all like congregated like within a very short time frame, like right from like the moment it was announced, like 15 different people were like, all right, I'll chip in, and then it just like kind of the prize money just like grew and grew and grew.
Yeah, kind of out of control.
And
Yeah.
it's still sitting at that value, and it's still hasn't been claimed yet, but there have been a few people in our Discord that have done a lot of research and are actually getting pretty close.
They are, yeah.
It is getting a
So-
lot closer than it has been, yeah. Thanks to this bounty.
So what Smitty just did there was called cylinder skip. We press the button and go over to this cylinder that like spins around. Before it starts spinning around, we can climb into one of those like empty hexagons and use the platform velocity to get to the next section way quicker than just waiting and then climbing on those platforms. And now we're going to get to BT here. We're going to, after a brief Titan section, we're going to do something called Ash Skip, which is a skip where we skip Ash, one of the boss fights in the game.
Wow, so Sanaka got a really
Yeah, that was a really
you got
good
like a third dome launch after that mantle. That was wild.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that before.
To go into like a bit more detail on how Ash Skip works, basically every time you disembark out of BT, the game puts you in a position where both the player and BT can fit. And in this case, where Smitty is going to act like a cat and climb onto a really high space for some reason, we're going to disembark, and what the heck, we just clipped out of the level. This is what disembark clipping is. We use this mechanic, which the game does, where the closest spot where both BT and Cooper can fit just happens to be out of bounds, right above the... And we're going to disembark clip one more time, right here, and we're going to just walk over to another ever-present end level trigger.
And now we don't fight Ash, so she stays alive for the Apex Legends.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. The speedrunners did this. Speedrunners did this.
Yeah, all you Apex players that are huge fans of Ash being in the game, you can thank us for not killing her when we had the chance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now we're on to
this is all our game.
now we're on to Effect and Cause. The level which, if you've played casually, is the level you remember most. And if your friends have played this level, they will not shut up about it. Because we can see that there's some time funkiness going on around here. We're like swapping between timelines a lot, which is weird. I wonder what's happening here.
I wonder if this is a scripted game mechanic that's supposed to happen to introduce you to a mechanic that you'll use later on.
So yeah, we're walking up to like specific spots so we can trigger this time funkiness quicker. And we're actually going to get ahead of the cycle. We're not supposed to be usually able to jump out of this window, but we do, because we're epic.
Because we're fast and epic.
Yeah. Now we're going to walk over to a gentleman who happens to turn off his no-clip at a very unfortunate time here. This is Major Eli Anderson. This is the guy we were searching for the entire time. We were with BT so far. And yeah, he's not doing too hot. Literally.
Yeah. He's having a bit of a rough day.
Yeah. We're gonna give his helmet over to BT, who's gonna play a unskippable like hologram cutscene thing, in which time we're just gonna screw around and get into a position where, after the cutscene, BT is going to throw a lamp, which acts as a zipline, and we're basically just gonna line ourselves up very specifically so that we get on the zipline as soon as it starts existing.
Like having a bit of trouble there while Smitty is
I actually pressed the melee button instead of the hover button. All good though. I've been at this pace before during practice.
Is that gonna be a 3?
Oh my god, it's
like
a 3!
a 3 to me. Very nice.
Oh my god!
Yeah, you can tell just by like how long this cutscene is. Everyone just kind of has like a different thing that they like to do to pass the time in this cutscene, because there's not really a whole lot to do. Some people write on the walls with their guns. Some people, I do like a bump launch in a corner just to pass the time. I think Dextracer, another top runner, goes and like does a fist fight with like enemies that are somewhere in the corner of the map.
That's the first time I've heard of that. Also, I'm not sure if you guys noticed this, but I actually did get hoverless in the Ash skip.
Wait, you got this?
Yeah.
I regret not looking at your screen. I'm sorry.
It's okay, I forgive you.
The difference is just so stark. It's hard not to commentate over just Smitty's gameplay because of how incredibly fast he's going.
Dude, look at how fast he's going, dude. Oh my god.
I missed pressing the dialogue because I was distracted by the 80-person raid.
Whoa.
Oh, there was a raid. Oh, let's go.
Oh,
We got more people watching Titanfall 2, the greatest game ever made.
oh my
Let's
god.
go. Hello, everyone.
It's also great that SpectralSmitty and Sanaka are also in the same level, so it does kind of feel like Sanaka is catching up a little bit, maybe a
Yeah.
little bit.
Somewhat, yeah.
Now we're heading to a section which we call Faster Than Light, or FTL. Where we see those laser grids here. If we touch them, we get launched really far, and I think like straight into the 90-kilometer speed cap. And we're going to use this velocity. Oh no, Smitty. Yeah. Usually we use all this velocity to launch ourselves into this corridor and clear it very quickly. And because we're actually getting way ahead of the cycle at which time is supposed to like switch around, we're like way faster than the game is just swapping time around, and therefore we're faster than light.
I'm not good at that trick.
I'm gonna be
It's a super
giving
hard
it
trick to
an
hit.
attempt, so
Yeah.
don't
really
don't
So-
don't get your hopes up. Don't give up your hopes just yet.
Smitty has this
there's
cool
no
watch now. Look at it. It's a cool watch. It swaps time around. Now we have the coolest tooltip in the game. Press A to time travel.
Yeah. Instead of displaying time, it changes time.
Yeah. The clock is broken. It just changes time so it's correct.
Yeah. I like to imagine that's actually what it does. It's just like a clock that's out of sync.
Very, very narcissistic clock.
But yeah, we'll get to see. I think we'll also, yeah, on Smitty's screen, you will also get to see a few segments where you do end up going pretty fast. And Effect and Cause Chapter 2 is actually filled. It's very stop and go. There's a lot of really cool movement segments, but there's also a couple of segments where we have to wait for Anderson to talk our ear off for like 40 seconds. But there's a couple segments specifically where controller movement looks different from keyboard movement. Especially because we have like long hallways that end in like a 90-degree turn, so we have a lot of space to build up a lot of speed. But then we have to make a really sharp turn, which controller players have to kind of move around in particular ways. Which Smitty, once you have time, you can kind of go into that a little bit.
Yeah, so it's just like what you should be seeing right now. Pretty much taking racing curves, so you go really wide into it, and then you cut the corner as close as possible, and then you go as wide as possible. That's pretty much it. I have an audio cue coming up. So. More line. Okay.
Alright. So now we have some time to go into how Effect and Cause actually works. Basically, each time we use this swapping thing, we are actually switching between two identical versions of the same level. Well, not identical because one is like very on fire and very decrepit. But you know, we're actually just teleporting vertically between two versions of the same level, which is how Respawn have achieved this. And this was actually
Ooh, that was close.
such a
Yeah.
You kind of saw like a little bit of FTL there on Sanaka's screen. He kind of got like shot into the ground. He got shot into the ground because like the jump timing wasn't quite right, but you could see like his speedometer take up to like 80 kilometers an hour, like for a little bit there. And if you do it properly, you keep that like 90 kilometers an hour, which is what it sets you up to, and you keep that all the way through the hallway.
It definitely would look really cool if either of us would have gotten it. It's a little bit unfortunate, but not the end of the world for the run, of course.
Yeah.
So this level was actually so cool that it warranted its own
no!
Wikipedia page. Oh my god!
Catch up to me! Catch up to me! I know exactly
Dorito's
which
never
one that
gonna get
was.
to explain this whole thing about how Effect and Cause works with this stuff.
I can't believe this.
Yeah. So what happened there is Smitty effectively just missed a trigger. This goes into like how Titanfall 2 is built in general. Instead of
Yeah, very trigger gated.
yeah, it's a super trigger gated level. Instead of just like clipping to the end of the level, there are ways to like get out of bounds. Like there's lots of different ways we can glitch the game, but because of how the game is built, we have to like hit certain triggers in certain spots, which are like allowing the intended path that the developers want us to go to. So it ends up looking a lot more like an inbounds movement run, so, which can still go wrong, as you can see. Like Smitty didn't go out of bounds or anything. It was just he cut a couple of lines a little bit too short, and sort of missed the triggers that were around platforms, and yeah, that can really come back to bite you.
I'm all
Random
messed up now.
drone in there.
Oh my god.
I'm all confused.
Oh my god, Smitty, that's so
Stop
terrifying.
it! Stop it, Smitty! Stop it!
I don't know what buttons I'm supposed to be pressing.
Finally, my time to
All
catch
right.
up.
There you go.
Usually we were supposed to have a third Anderson log here, but we just say nah. Screw that. I'm just gonna go end the level.
I'm
And,
sure now you have time to finish the explanation now, Dorito.
Yeah, Affecting Cause was actually so cool that it warranted its own Wikipedia page. That's the last thought I said.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, if you go on Wikipedia, type Affecting Cause, it'll just show up separate from the game, which very interesting.
Yeah, it's a really, really great level. Like, casually, I would argue, like, casually it's a little bit better than from the speedrunner perspective, especially because it's, you know, so stop and go in the speedrun, but the movement sections that you do in the run are super, super fun and really cool to look at, if you do them properly, of course.
Now we're on to
Like, going for
Affecting
Helen
Cause 3. Oh my god.
Oh, I'm sad.
No! There's
You
these
saw Sanaka
little
go for
ridges,
for a
yeah.
really good frag boost there, but, you know, that was a geometry moment. Hitting like the wrong part of a platform just can stop you dead in your tracks.
Yeah, we didn't talk about frag boosts outside of the gauntlet.
Yeah, we didn't really go into that. I guess
yeah.
we can like kind of touch on it like really shortly before we move on with like more explanations. But generally, you saw like right at the beginning of the run, we kind of let the grenades explode in our hand. It's because in the gauntlet we were actually invincible, so we can just kind of afford to do that. Anywhere else in the game, we don't have that luxury, so frag boost can actually kill us. So pretty much anytime we do a frag boost outside of the gauntlet, we need like a very specific setup to like get outside of the kill radius while still having the grenade actually boost us.
And yeah, in the time Zwick took to explain that, Smitty actually finished the level. Affecting Cause 3 is the shortest level in the game.
It's very short. It's very
Also,
very
just
short.
for show, since we did practice this, I'm gonna be showcasing time stop here on my.
Oh yeah, time
stream.
stop. Yeah. So yeah, I went into how Affecting Cause works as a level, where teleporting between two different versions. Well, using this this keyboard here that we're gonna hack with our MacGuffin knife, we're actually gonna confuse the game as to which timeline we actually are in. So right now the game thinks we're in one timeline when we're actually in the other. So it does teleport us
Almost.
on the y-axis, but teleports us to where we can actually clip through walls. You can also see it's called time stop because all the AI is just frozen in place, which is followed by the actually canonical time stop.
Your last chance to donate for Kill or Save the Marvin, by the way.
Oh yeah, this is
Beacon 2 is coming up here.
yeah. At the end of this level, we're gonna need to know if we're killing or sparing the Marvin.
Yeah, and all of the like glitchy nonsense that you saw on Sanaka's screen, where like the screen turned like blue for a short bit, that's the game essentially teleporting you up, like way into the skybox, because it thinks you're in the bottom timeline, so it teleports you up, thinking it's going to put you in the top timeline, but because you're actually in the top timeline already, it puts you like way above the top timeline, so you just kind of get teleported into the skybox.
Yeah. So we're to Beacon 1, where Smitty is shooting all these stalkers to perform a glitch called Dialogue Skip, which just skips a lot of dialogue, which is, I think, like 30 seconds. So we're gonna go over here past this deadly fog. We're supposed to be deadly fog, but we're going for just fine. It takes a really long time to kill us on easy difficulty, which is what we're running the game on, because it minimizes RNG.
Yeah, definitely.
And also allows us to do the dialogue skip. So after we've killed those stalkers, we can come back to BT, and we're going to go over and be able to enter the room where all the grunts are in like a lot quicker.
Yeah, we're basically killing all of the enemies before BT even has a chance to let us embark.
Yeah.
BT, like from the beginning of the level, is like stuck in a really long scripted animation where he walks down slowly, and you're supposed to like kind of like walk beside him the entire time. But we can spend that time going fast and getting to the enemies before BT is like, hey, wait a minute, there's enemies here. So at the end,
what do you mean, BT? I already killed the enemies.
Yeah, at the end, there's like a lot of dialogue that just gets stacked on top of each other because of how far ahead we are of where the game thinks we should be, and that can actually, in some cases, can actually cause the game to crash if you embark literally too early. Like a specific line of dialogue has to finish playing before you actually embark onto them, and if you embark too early, the game can just crash. So we have to wait a little bit sometimes.
Are we saving or killing the Marvin?
Yeah, this is where we need to know now. And we could also have time for one quick donation.
All right, actually, yeah, we got a couple of donations that just popped in, but right now it looks like you are killing the Marvin. Kill
Yay.
is still ahead. But yeah, we got some awesome donations coming through right now. $50 from Anonymous, no comment. Thank you so much, Anonymous. And another Anonymous donation for $20. It says, we gotta get 3K.
So let's do it.
So yeah,
All right, I guess we're killing it.
Now we're on to Beacon 2, which is where we're gonna kill this Marvin. This is the fastest paced level in the game, in contrast to Affecting Cause 2, which was a very stop and go level. Beacon 2 is non-stop action from beginning to end, except when you die, Smitty.
Except when you die. Yeah.
It's not a death, it's just a quick respawn, which you'll see again in a second.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, actually, good demonstration of what we'll actually see, which is
It's
actually
foreshadowing.
Yeah. We're gonna grab this softball grenade launcher here, which basically just throws a bunch of like non-lethal grenades. Well, not non-lethal, but it takes 2 to kill us, and we're going to perform this glitch called, well, not glitch, but skip, called Kill Room Skip, where we skip the kill room. Oh my
It was
god.
so fast, I can't believe you didn't make that. I
got
was
greedy.
actually expecting you to just kind of...
Yeah. One of the
land on that
hardest skips in the game, and it only saves like, what, 12 seconds?
It's like 12 to 13 seconds, so like for like decent to top runners, it's a pretty big time save that you can't really give up for. But
Yeah.
it is definitely like hard enough that like beginning runners should just kind of like not do it until they like actually get better at the movement.
Say goodbye,
Because it
Marvin.
is- Goodbye, Marvin.
Wave this guy
Goodbye,
goodbye.
Yeah, if you had voted to save him, we would have had to endure the pain of stealing the arc tool from him, not only losing 20 seconds, but also seeing Marvin get sad and staying that way forever, because no one ever comes down here to
Check
to
on him,
save
yeah.
or check on Marvin. So he just kind of stays sad forever. So you took
Yeah.
you took the right decision. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. Good job, chat. Good job.
Good job, Shad. We're proud
Now
of
we're
you.
doing a heatsink skip, where we skip having to do one of these like the longest puzzle section here, where we like turn on a few stuff and panels come up, and we're going to hit a trigger, which prevents us from soft locking the game and going to this really fast-paced section, and we're going to try to convert all this momentum into this section called Fast Fans. Nicely done.
Oh,
And we're gonna. Oh,
yeah.
commentators cursed you.
And
And this is
Respawn, if you ever make Titanfall 3, make the door frames larger.
Yes.
yeah. Please do, please do.
Sure,
Doors
there's
are
at
too
least
small.
one anonymous dev that worked on Titanfall 2 that's watching this in like 5 years and is like, you know what? Yeah, we'll make the doors a little bigger.
So yeah, now we're on to Beacon 3, which is really the highlight of this run. But first, we have to get through this unskippable cutscene, which, if we have any donations, can get through.
Sorry about that. My mouse is on a different screen. No new donations yet. We're just still trying to push for that $3,000. We're currently at 2,975. We can do this, chat.
Just
Yeah,
25
not a
more.
lot left. We
I
can,
believe
we can
in
make
us.
that before the run ends.
Yeah.
Also, I would like to inform that apparently that was a Beacon 2 gold for me.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah, it was.
Damn. Okay. Sanaka's really catching up. I was gonna say this as well. Like I saw, you know, both of you in Beacon 2, which Beacon 2 is a fairly short level. It's like 2 minutes long for the most part.
Smitty.
But he missed one. No.
Yeah, I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it.
Oh my god. Oh, you
this
hate
is,
to see it,
um,
Smitty.
Yeah, this is the reason we actually got this arc tool to go and enable a bunch of panels, which turns on the power. For
You gotta be fast, by the way.
For the beacon.
Or else
Oh,
it
yeah.
will kill you.
No, actually, because no matter how much time you take here, like the damage you take is entirely scripted, depending on like how many of these you turn on. So in reality, you can go into this radioactive room, stay there, get off of your computer, go make a sandwich, eat the sandwich, come back, and you'll still be alive by the time you come back.
So you told me it was all a lie?
Yes.
Yes.
Radiation is an illusion, not
I
actually.
can't believe this. I can't believe you would lie to me doing this.
It's actually
Yeah.
kind of funny. I was actually verifying a run for the boards the other day, and it was someone who like made their first submission, and I recall them like audibly saying like in that segment, if I had done that any slower, I would have died, and I'm like, that's not correct.
So now, Smitty has this loadout called Brute, which has an ability called Titan Hover, which we're going to use to get a 15% reduction in gravity. Normally, when we hover, we're not supposed to disembark out of our Titan, but if we shove ourselves into like a corner where there's a ceiling right above us, we can just disembark out of BT even while he's hovering, which grants us this reduction in gravity. And you can see, like, if Smitty jumps, you can see that he's really floaty. And combine this, and BT is gonna throw us now. We're going to hold jump at the end of this cutscene, which will give us a frame-perfect jump input out of BT's hand. And combined with the reduction of gravity, we're going to, this is going to be super fastball. Enjoy.
我的分析结果显示，投掷是唯一的办法。我能够将你扔过去。风力3节，风向2级。
Nice backup.
距离95公尺。
I was going a little
yeah,
slow,
nice.
but
Yeah, nicely
Landing on,
done.
like, right on the rail.
Now
as well.
comes my turn.
相信
Very small.
Okay, now it's Sanaka's turn. We get
Now
to
we get to
judge
see it
him.
again.
Yeah. Good luck, Sanaka.
IMC 运输船正朝着你过来。
yeah, this segment is definitely one that benefits a lot from having a deep
Let's go.
amount
Beautiful.
of.
Really good. The question is, did
Beautiful
I hit the
super fastball
trigger?
from both runners.
I
That
did,
was-
in fact, hit the
Yeah.
trigger.
That was beautiful. I love seeing that.
Yeah. Where Sanaka's
That was real
also going to do the same skip Smitty did, called Terminal Skip. We're going to use these special kind of grenades called Gravity Stars, which cannot kill us if we only pop one of them. And usually we're supposed to go into a terminal and move this entire dish off to the left so we can actually access it better. But we're going to... we say screw that noise, we're going to use a damage boost. And we're going to use another one here for this segment, where we're supposed to, like, carefully, like, enable each wall. But no, we're just going to do the ones that we... oh
Sanaka
my
just barely
god!
hit the wall. Dude, that would, if you had hit that wall, that would have been so...
That was
clean.
probably the most, like the highest amount of speed I've gotten from that.
That was so fast, and the angle was like so shallow. If you had hit that wall kick, like you would have like easily
Oh,
gained like
100%, 100%. I just kind of
clean.
underestimated my angle. Again,
So
your eyes can really deceive you.
Yeah, we're trying to conserve all the momentum that we got from that damage boost for a skip called Zipless, which skips having to use the zip line that's in the end here, but looks like Sanaka will have to go for backup wall kick. Yeah, technically zipless.
Technically zipless.
Technically zipless.
Same. Yeah, same.
Yeah. And now we're on to another small fight, which is actually an auto scroller. Zui, can you tell us about that?
Thank you.
Yeah, it's kind of an auto-scroller. At least part of it is. Like from the moment you hit a certain trigger, like right before Zipless, actually, that's when like a bunch of enemies start spawning, and the game will just keep spawning enemies for like a set amount of time until it stops, and then a certain amount of time after that doesn't actually check if all the enemies are dead. So you do have quite a bit of time to just kind of chill out and kill all the enemies you see. And there's like a couple setups and like sort of strats that you can do to like make sure that it's consistent, and you have the fight finish as soon as the first check for it actually happens. But for the most part, there's autoscroller in this case just means that there's a limit to how fast you can go, essentially.
And after the fight, we're going to do a strat called Dish Climb, which skips another cutscene where BT throws us, and we have to wait for him to throw us. We have to climb like into the dish and then out of it in order to like replace the module that we just got. But instead, we're just gonna use these two opposing walls to just jump on the wall and ascend much quicker than like the cutscene where BT throws us. We're going to replace this module, and this is actually where we die, because the dish realigns itself and we fall into the giant pit of death. Don't look at Smitty's side, by the way. That's all an illusion.
Yeah, everything
fake.
that
It's fake.
happens after
Completely
BT,
fabricated.
Everything that happens supposedly after BT quote-unquote catches us is actually just a dream from Cooper. He actually died.
I mean, look at how BT catches him. Like,
Yeah,
Cooper
his hand is
dead.
not even attached to him. Like, look at that. What the heck?
Yeah, like Cooper just
The worst game ever made.
like Cooper's supposed to like completely break his back here, but BT just catches us like it's nothing.
Honestly.
Like, wow.
All right. So, you guys ready?
Oh?
Yeah.
We have a $25 donation from Foxy Jura that says 3K high.
Let's go!
Let's go, dude.
And we hit 3K before Beacon 3 even ended. That's
That's
actually-
I
amazing.
mean, what more can you ask for?
Yeah. So
Very good job, everyone.
yeah, good job,
Good
Chad.
job, everyone.
So now we're going to learn about something called spawn manipulation. What you see here is our runners are looking in very specific directions, and the enemies just kind of happen to spawn there. Usually, like, they can spawn pretty much anywhere, but by looking in a certain direction, we can get them to spawn in the way that's most favorable to us, which is actually, like, very close together, as you can see here. Like, usually if we look the wrong way, they can spawn on opposite ends of the map. But, yeah, we're using this to just kill them a lot quicker and get to the Richter boss fight, which Smitty has just finished up and is now doing Elmo clip.
I almost messed it up. It's good though.
That was close.
Yeah.
I was looking a little
scary.
spooky there.
Found by Next Racer, our resident Elmo profile picture.
Yeah, it's called Elmo Clip because Next Racer famously uses Elmo as a very disconcerted Elmo as their profile picture.
He's
Yeah.
also our beloved British.
Yeah.
Yes. A resident British.
Yeah. Elmo clip actually saves like 2 seconds, but it has the added benefit that we can walk around the entire map while the cutscene just is playing out and not be confined to one tiny room.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, I forget this all the time, but yeah, usually in that cutscene you would just be in that bunker with BT, but because you kind of clip in and then clip back out, you can kind of just like walk around the entire level and just kill some time, which is actually not only saves time, but actually just makes the run a bit more fun because you don't just sit in a box while the cutscene is playing, so you can just kind of.
Yeah.
I like to go and set up those fireworks.
It's more of a quality of life thing, but yeah.
Although if you are a new runner and you're planning on running this game, and you do this trick, let me give you one advice. You see the zip lines here? Don't ride them.
Yeah, don't ride the zip lines.
Genuine
Also,
good advice.
yeah, if you do Elmo clip, make sure to tag Nex in the Discord. He's gonna be very happy to see
he would be
people
very
doing his
happy.
strat. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
every time someone does it, he just pops up like, "Let's go!"
I feel like I should say though, because it was a bit vague, but the reason you don't want to grab those zip lines is because they crash your game. I don't think we said that. But
they straight up crashed the menu.
That's why you don't want to grab those.
现在
Yeah.
It's happened to people many times, and they were always like, "What the hell? Why did they make game
What
crash?"
happened?
And then they send a clip, and we're like, "Yeah, you got the zip line," and they're like, "No, man, I can't believe that."
反对，库珀是我的
And then they
战友
never do it again because
我
it's
们
a
现
life
在在
lesson
作
that
战
you
上
learn.
的分
Yeah.
90%。
After this cutscene with Commander Sarah Briggs, the resident annoying person in the game, we're on to Trial by Fire. Very, I don't like this a whole lot, but in this first section, we're going to use our Ronin set here, which has a shotgun and these two abilities called Sword Block and Phase Dash. Now, Sword Block, once we take our sword up, it actually blocks 75% of all incoming damage. So we can just walk into this line of fire here, have these turrets just completely bombard us, but we're just not taking as much damage, and we can get behind these walls, which actually just have no collision. This level, by the way, is actually referred to as T-Day in the game files. So, like, look at it. It's D-Day, but with Titans. T-Day.
Get it?
Yeah, because we're attacking a thing with guns.
Yeah.
Like,
and
wow.
Titans.
It's a funny joke, you know.
Yeah. For this section, we just have to kill a bunch of Titans, and there isn't really any specific path that we take here, other than the beginning. After the beginning, once we set up our flame traps and just like do our first initial Titan kills, it's just a free-for-all chaos. And actually, we didn't cover this, but we have some tech, brand new tech called flame trap duping. Zoe, can you tell us about that?
Yeah, we didn't go over that. It's actually fairly simple when you're on the Scorch loadout. One thing you can do is anytime you put down a flame trap, and you pull up your flame shield while looking straight up and standing in that flame trap that emits gas that you just stood in. It, for whatever reason, I don't know why. I don't think anyone really knows exactly why, but it just tries igniting the flame trap like up to 6 times or something. Usually it's just like 2, but it basically ignites it twice, and it does twice the damage. So we started using this like all over the place, just because it doubles the damage output, and it's quite useful, especially in this fight, because of how much improvisation we have to go through after like the initial like rigidly routed stuff that we do. Speaking of rigidly routed stuff, right after this fight, once the door opens, everything's a little bit more rigidly routed because, there's a lot less Titans to worry about, so we don't really have to keep our eyes on many moving objects, so there are specific traps we do.
And now that we aren't being bombarded by Titans, I can yell to you about how much I hate Sarah.
True.
So yeah, basically this entire section, we can technically go through this entire section and just dash past everything, but no, we have to take care of Sarah by clearing out every single Titan, every single Grunt, every single Reaper that stands in our way. And it's basically just a glorified escort mission. And even if we don't clear out the Grunts, even though Sarah says that we're on the clock here, we're chasing a ship, chasing an enemy ship, she will instead take her time to shoot random Grunts that don't matter. And yeah, you can lose a lot of time here due to just Sarah being Sarah.
Yeah, and then at the end, once you actually get to the elevator, she has the gall to say that was the easy part, when she's literally been holding you up for like 30 seconds. And like for the rest of the level, you don't have to care about her at all. You could just pop your sword core and just keep dashing throughout the entire rest of the level.
Yeah,
so,
sword core, by the way, if you once you enable it, we can see that our dashes turn yellow and they fill up a lot faster. So we can just dash past this entire cascade of enemies trying to attack us. We actually don't take a lot of damage, firstly because we're in easy mode, and secondly because we're just blazing past everything. Like, holy heck, we're just too fast to comprehend.
Yeah, and none of the enemies we do actually have to kill in this second phase. There's a lot of combat sections that the devs want you to go through and actually kill enemies, but for the most part, the game like rarely ever checks for dead enemies until it progresses, which is actually super nice, which makes it a much more movement focused speedrun, which I'm a big fan of. I like movement in speedrun.
I know, right?
The speed reason you run this game? Wow.
I couldn't be.
Now we're on to the Arc, my least favorite level of this game, but before we begin, we have some time for donations.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we definitely have some donations flowing in. Let's see here. So we have from Viz, hello, Sanaka, Smitty, Doritos, Week, don't die on TBF, or Arc, pretty please, K thanks, bye. That was $25, and Rebello with $25 says hat. And guess what? We have met our last incentive for the marathon. Hat in Time
Let's
is
go.
upgrading to all DLC.
Awesome.
Yay!
Hi.
Also, hi Viz.
Hi Viz.
Hi, Viz.
One of us is definitely going to die on the Arc.
Yeah,
Oh,
Viz, you just
100%.
cursed us. This is all your fault.
Speaking of that, fun fact: we for commentary, we actually have like a text document where we have a couple of bullet point notes of what we want to talk about each level, and for most levels we have 2 to 3 points of stuff we want to talk about. For the Arc, it just says I hate this level. Dorito, why? Dorito.
Why I just wrote that? I am so glad you asked!
Supposed to have notes for this.
I'm so glad you asked, because I can go on a several-minute-long tangent about how much I hate this level.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. We have time in this cutscene anyway. Go ahead.
Yeah, so, funny thing about the Arc, you can see all these ships and Viper killing people. Cool, right? All these ships are basically just moving platforms, which also move very randomly. And if you recall back to Abyss 2, we mentioned something called platform velocity, where we inherit a platform's momentum even after we leave it, which really bites us in the butt here, because due to random movement of the ships, a lot of
Audio
our
cue fix.
skips here. Yep.
Yep.
Pause the yelling.
Mine's coming up soon, just so you know.
Oh, I messed it up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Unfortunate.
Oh.
Oh no.
Mine's also coming up here, so.
We'll
Yeah,
resume
we're just
commentary
gonna-
after.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got it.
Nice.
Nice.
Sanaka?
Okay.
弗里格斯指挥官，我是黑鸟64，我们可以到他那里。谜题，跟我们上去。
收到64。
Nice. Got it too.
First try from Sanaka? Okay.
Okay. So yeah,
That's
speaking
catching
of speaking
They're
of
getting
this
close, they're getting
skip,
close.
yeah, this is Barker skip followed by 6-4 skip, and the reason these skips suck, well, no, they don't suck. They're great.
Okay,
They're great.
that's good.
Oh, don't die, please don't.
Oh my
die.
god, Smitty.
Oh my god, Smitty. Smitty is actually fallen behind now.
Oh,
yeah,
no, what
Sanaka's
happened?
Actually ahead now, what the heck?
Yeah,
Wait, what
Smitty
happened?
died on the elevator.
Oh
How's
no,
the turntable?
dude.
We got traffic jammed.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
that was rough.
idiot.
So yeah,
Who would
everything
think that,
we've
in what, Abyss 1 and 2, Sanaka had to, revert to checkpoint 5 times, and he was, 2 minutes ahead? That was Sanaka's head.
yeah.
What, bro?
So yeah, everything we've been saying about levels this far has been, yeah, this part is very cool, this part is kind of bland. No, this level, it's all hate. We hate this level. This
You
level
hate this
hates
level.
us.
I'm...
Okay, fine. But this level does hate us.
Nah, I don't
So
think
for
it
some
hates me.
people, it's a very mutual hate. Because as I mentioned before, Barker skip, for example, and 6-4 skip can all be very RNG dependent. Basically, if you get a bad seed, Barker's ship can move in a certain way where even if you do a very good frag boost, you can still end up not hitting the 6-4 ship, which loses about 15 seconds. Here we're doing a track called Early Sarah, where we jump on Sarah's ship a bit earlier than we're supposed to, to get to the next section where we just kill a bunch of grunts. And we do nothing but that. We're just killing grunts. Basically,
Literally.
yeah.
Yeah, so from a different perspective, FYI, all the things that Dorito is complaining about, they're valid in some way, but for the most part, Dorito is just nitpicking and biased.
Yeah, okay. I am overplaying some of the badness of this level. Most of it can be like walk around it.
Kind of still.
The Arc definitely used to be a super rough level, and it used to be very RNG dependent and very glitchy, but in recent times, in recent months and weeks, there have been more strats that made certain things more consistent, like different Barker skip setups, certain things that we do on the ship steering, which is coming up on Sanaka Scream, that used to like randomly kill you or crash a game, which can still happen sometimes, but there's a couple inputs that we do and like sort of like rituals that everyone does that do seem to make it more consistent. I definitely haven't died or crashed on this segment in a very long time myself.
However, I will say that there is a secret mystery consequence of this as well, which you guys could probably like briefly explain Ghost Ship for a bit.
Oh yeah, Ghost Ship. Due to the random movement of the ships, and I think if you're like a little bit slow, one of the ships can clip into the cockpit you're currently in and just kind of kill you by smushing you. All of this like this level just screwing with us is what we call arc moments. And also, one thing I forgot to mention, this level has a kill timer, meaning if you're moving downwards for a specific amount of time, the game will just straight up kill you because it thinks you've fallen like out of the air. Which, in theory, sounds good, but if you're doing something like Barker skip, the 6-force ship can sometimes just start moving downwards. Even though you're on the ship, it'll still just kill you for no reason. And now we're on to Viper Fight here, one of the hardest bosses in the game. We actually do a strat called Viper Zerk here, where we use Ion or 2 laser shots here. Then we switch to Tone, spam him a bunch with bullets and rockets, switch to Expedition, more bullets and rockets. Basically, we just murk Viper a lot earlier than we used to do, and then we turn around to take care of all the Scorches.
Not sure if anyone saw that Scorch.
This strat is actually so fast that sometimes oh my god.
Oh, look at that.
You launched that Scorch away.
Yeah.
You launched that.
If you're fast enough, you're actually going to clip out of the bounds of the level. Basically, this level works in a way that there is a box that the player area is in, and if we do Viper Zerg fast enough, we will get out of that box and we will have to clip inside of it because the box is actually approaching us very rapidly, and we don't have a lot of time to do much. So we're going to have to. Oh, okay, Smitty Square. We usually, you'll see this artifacting that happens in the sky. That means you have to do a trick called Mantle Clip, where just as the wall starts approaching you and like pushing you, you have to mantle, like enter a mantle animation, which kind of clips you back into the play area. Another arc moment.
I'm too slow to have to worry about Mantle Clip.
Yeah,
I don't know if anyone noticed on my screen, but I actually switched to mouse and keyboard for that fight because I turn off aim assist on the controller. It makes it easier to airstrafe, because otherwise aim assist locks onto enemies all throughout the rest of the game. So Viper Fight on controller without aim assist is pretty challenging, and mouse and keyboard is just a lot easier for me to do.
So
Just
yeah,
as very powerful. It can be kind of ridiculous. There's like couple I've seen like a couple clips like float around where aim assist would literally just track a target even though it's like whizzing by you when you would do a 180. I think that's like a clip that Cash Mayo posted as well.
Yeah.
It was, in a private match, and it would just he was like the moment it happened he yelled at it like, whoa, that aim assist. It was really funny.
Yeah. And now we're going after this blue glowy ball. It's the world-ending weapon that we're after. This is one of the yeah.
It may be an
this is one of
incredibly
the
powerful weapon, but we just kind of climb in and touch it with our hands because why not?
Like it's a Death Star like planet destroying thing, but we just touch it.
Yeah.
This was one of the 2 dramatic W holds that we have to do. And basically we're just waiting for a cutscene where BT just kind of tries to shield us from the ship crashing due to Viper doing a Viper. And we've been captured by the IMC now. And that is because they want their cool glowy ball back, and they think we're being very mean for stealing it.
No.
So
the very
they've
end of the arc is very scripted, but can I just say, despite the arc being the arc and arc moments being able to happen, Sanaka and Smitty are still super close. Like
They are.
a lot of stuff could have gone wrong at that level. Like despite how consistent I say, some things may have been, stuff can still go wrong, and like especially in marathons, stuff will go wrong. So I feel like we kind of got very lucky.
Actually,
Nothing really.
we actually dodged a bullet because like 2 days ago, while we were practicing, Sanaka went into the animation for steering the ship, and his computer literally blue screened out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's actually not a joke, by the way. That literally happened. We were doing like another practice run yesterday. That like it actually just blue screened his computer.
So yeah,
I
this is
still
Blisk.
have the photo.
This is Blisk. This is the person who wants his glowy ball back, and he's kind of interrogating us. We're just saying, no, I want this ball. It's mine. Can't get it back.
BT's hugging the ball very tightly, so tightly in fact you can't even see him because it's just in his chest. He's like, I don't want to give it away.
I don't want to give it away.
It's
Even though he's
when
like
you,
very broken, like you can see he has no legs and arm.
Yeah,
It's like when you go to like a sleepover at like 7th grade, and then you're like hiding like your horror movies in your hoodie from your parents.
And this is where we actually die because Blisk is pointing a gun at us. So yeah, goodbye, good run.
Yeah,
no, we actually don't die. Because BT just caves in and gives him the glowy ball back. A necessary sacrifice, I guess. Because after this comes one of the coolest pilot movement segments in the game, where BT actually dies here. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah,
I
BT
can't believe
definitely
it.
dies fully and never comes
Spoilers, by the way.
Spoilers. That's gonna happen in like 5
back. We
seconds.
spoiled it like 5 seconds.
Photosensitive warning, by the way.
Yeah, just a
yeah,
fair
send
warning,
the-
epilepsy.
Yeah.
Let the
Go away now.
commentators handle that because I don't know how far lagged I am with the stream.
It's about to happen right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so mine's over. We're just waiting for
Don't
seconds.
look yet. Okay, anyone with epilepsy, you can
here.
look back now. Yeah, everything is clear.
Here.
Yeah. So yeah, BT has just died, and we will never ever see him again.
I
Yeah,
can't believe
so-
it.
For those who were looking away, Sarah was Sarah.
Sarah.
was, definitely shooting BT in his vital organs that were definitely very important for him to survive, and not just and did not just shoot through his back where nothing important actually is. So as a result, by walking back and tricking BT into thinking we're gonna run away from him, BT gets worried and starts saying, "Hey, no, wait, I have a thing for you."
No.
And he just rips off his face.
Rips off his face. Also, organs weak?
Yeah,
Organs?
Titan organs.
Titan
But made out of metal and wires.
Sure. Okay, I'll allow it.
Like PCBs and
BT
motherboards.
BT gives us this cool gun. What is that? It's like a pistol, but it looks like really different. Let's see, and
Seems
we
to
also
be-
get
seems to be a
another
generic pistol.
hacky MacGuffin knife, which we can use to hack stuff conveniently with a very convenient knife hole. You can just
We get a
Plug it
second knife
into-
on top of the knife that we already have on our player model.
Oh yeah. We also have BT's data core, which is actually where BT like lives.
That's his actual vital organ. That's just his entire
Yeah.
brain.
Also, what the heck is a smart pistol? Zweek? What is a smart pistol?
Didn't you tell me what it was? It's supposed to be like a gun that just tells you interesting facts about snakes or something?
Also, like our fact core from Portal 2.
Oh, sorry. Jesus.
Yeah. The smart pistol is actually just aimbot. It's just aimbot. You just kill. You just click. Everything in front of you dies. Which is very cool and gives us this this tool to exact our vengeance because we just lost our good friend BT to like completely unrelated grunts.
Yeah, in the campaign, it does actually do a really good job of giving you this like huge power fantasy right at the end of the game because we are like in the last level of the game right now, and it's genuinely super satisfying, like especially on your first playthrough, just like ripping through all of these grunts, and it's just like increases tenfold when you're speedrunning because you're zooming through the entire segment and just kind of clicking on enemies when they're in the way, but unfortunately, good things never last, and the pistol is also in the multiplayer because, you know, Respawn apparently knows exactly how to balance games really well.
This is a
Aimbot
gun.
in multiplayer in the game is always a good idea.
Yeah,
This is
Game
the
Dev takes
gun
notes.
that
it'll never go wrong, and people will definitely always like when they get killed by an aimbot. That's just
this is
super
the gun
Also,
that
oh my
people
god, BT
wish
is back.
existed in Apex.
Oh wait, is that BT?
Yes.
It looks a
BT.
bit more
It's just-
carbon fiber and orangey than I remember. The previous iteration looked a bit more green.
I guess we do exaggerate the images of people we love in our heads.
Our memories get distorted over time. We've been away from
Yes.
BT so long.
So
we
long,
don't even remember
so
what he
long.
looks like.
Totally hasn't been a minute and 30 seconds.
Yeah, definitely not. It's not like
So
we're
now we're,
speedrunning or anything.
We did something called Snugglecore, which we used our Legion power shot, which can pierce through enemies, and each enemy we pierce, we damage them a lot, which gives us a lot of core. And we use this core to like activate sword core and dash through this entire section. We're going to do something called door skip, which may not look like a lot, but it is actually a very big skip because oh my god,
Oh my-
Sanaka.
No!
Oh my god, Sanaka.
Tonight, I swear to God, if you don't get a good checkpoint, I'm going to stream.
Oh
it tonight.
no, dude.
Oh, I got the bad one.
What?
This is the worst
the
possible
last
checkpoint you can
minute.
get.
I love how I simultaneously died and then choke on like absolutely nothing for a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, that's,
Speedy either has to play really well, or Sanaka has to play really well, or Smitty has to mess up a lot for them to like get matched again. And now we're on to the Sloan boss fight. The last boss fight of the game. And it's actually divided in 3 phases. And at the end of each phase, someone just teleports away. Even if we damage her a lot, even if we bring her health bar all the way down, she's still just gonna teleport back with like 2/3 health, because game.
全力阻止 IMC 启动。
And while we wait for Sloan to
Oh my
like
goodness.
take a sip of apple juice.
I'm having
my
a
God.
bit of trouble. Let's hope I don't.
Yeah,
There
we didn't
go,
mention
finally.
about door skip. Yeah, the door just has no collision at the top, and the past strat actually involved having to get a
God.
Titan to like walk to the door and open it for us, which was really slow, and I'm very glad that people actually found a way to skip that.
Maybe maybe having a little bit of trouble on Sloan fight, but
Yeah,
the,
gives
the
Sanaka
offset
the
that's happening.
A little bit of a lead, yeah. That was.
Smitty has a bit of a lead. I'm not sure how much this will end up mattering because
We will see. We
even though
will see.
Sloan is not behaving at all. Oh my god, dashing around all over the place.
Sloan is deaf. And now we're going to perform a very cool glitch, and we're just gonna let this play out. You gotta see it first before
Yeah,
we tell you about it.
I guess we'll see it first and then we'll kind of explain what's actually going on.
It does have to do with having a gun inside of our Titan Dell.
Yeah,
Like, very weird. Yeah.
I think usually we don't have a gun.
Also, don't melee in this segment, otherwise you crash the game.
That's true.
We also
So
have a
true.
gun as BT, the biggest gun in our roster, conveniently. And oh my god, that Apex Predators leader Kuben Blisk coming in for a villain monologue?
Wait, is that Blisk from Apex Legends?
I wonder what we're gonna do with our big gun.
That's not Blisk from Apex Legends anymore. He's dead, gone.
Yeah.
I guess-
Apex is actually undone. Remember that thing about Ash? We lied. This is
We
actually
were kidding.
speedrunning.
We've betrayed you, Apex players. How does it
Yeah.
feel?
Ooh.
So yeah,
I'm actually going to get free charge.
Wait, Sanaka
Basically-
getting free charge?
wait, what?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
This is
that's
perfect,
interesting.
because we get to show off pre-charge as well. So, what Smitty and Sanaka just did was something called Andy Shot, discovered by a Reddit user called Shot Andy. Basically, once we activate our core at the same time as clicking button to extract the arc thing, we have a gun in the cutscene. It's not supposed to happen. Also, BT has 4 arms. 2 holding the gun and 2 just climbing into the arc injector.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we can actually use the big gun to kill Blisk, and for some reason the game just decides, oh, I'm going to continue past this segment,
Yeah,
and
because
it's a whole miracle that it doesn't crash the game. Like, holy hell!
Yeah. In
And,
addition, on Sanaka's
yeah, we
screen,
have
you can
pre-charge.
see, if Sanaka aims down sights, you can see it like at the bottom left that the fold weapon is actually lit up. Like those lights aren't on Smitty's screen. You can see on Smitty's screen actually perfectly. These lights actually have to turn on when when you climb in, and it's like a whole like 10 seconds sequence. But if you get pre-charge, which is what the strat is called, those lights are already on. And the way you do it is you literally just go so fast in the boss fight that you somehow go like ahead a cycle of some sort. I'm not exactly sure exactly why this happens, but it is just you go so fast that the game just turns the thing on for you for whatever reason.
I believe that the second phase is pretty much the most important phase to be like really fast at in order to get this.
Yeah, certain phases are more important than others.
Yeah, the
Smitty
first
here,
phase.
Time is actually coming up for Smitty.
yeah,
in just
Smitty
a
is
moment.
going for Zweekscape here. I
Oh,
wonder
I'm not.
who that's
I
named
freaked
after.
out.
Oh,
I freaked out.
Oh yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
grabbed
We
the
just
ball
saw
though.
that now.
That's safe.
Yeah. Okay, time is coming up for Smitty.
协议3保护体育。
So we time because loading
And
screens
time.
Time from Smitty.
Time for
because
Smitty.
loading screens are different across different computers. We time officially with without loading screens. So my time without the loading screens was 1:26:45.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, that was pretty good.
Nice. Okay.
I think mine's been up here.
So now we're waiting on Sanaka to finish up as well with
Got
this escape segment. Sanaka, are you going for Zweekscape?
I will give it an attempt.
All right. I wonder who that's named after.
You better not die, or else I will be very upset. Well, I will feel personally attacked.
These platforms here can be very
I will not go
weird.
for Zeke's
Oh
game.
my god.
Jesus, that was like that was like the same thing as
That's
Smitty,
the
but
same
way
thing as Smitty.
scarier.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
These
And
platforms
time
can
for
be.
me.
Yeah.
And that's time for
Time.
Sanaka.
Yeah. And that's the game.
All right, that's the
Yeah.
game.
Those platforms can be very weird. Like it does.
for sure,
it
yeah.
pulls one last arc moment where they just kind of move in like very weird ways.
It may not seem very complicated, but keep that in mind that it's at the very end of the run, so you're probably sweating bullets going into this.
Yeah.
So every platform feels like it's like life or death for you, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's a very dangerous spot to be very attached to your run, which tends to happen
Yeah.
when you're on PB pace.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that was the run.
but yeah.
GG's, y'all.
GG's.
GG's for
GG's.
you, Smitty.
Very close.
Thank you.
That was
you
like
guys did
so
a great
much
job
back and forth.
commentating.
I'm like genuinely surprised
you
how
guys-
close that ended up being.
Yeah.
You
Even
guys
with all
definitely
the.
really carried commentary there, honestly.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was wild. That was great.
So yeah. If you're looking to give this run a try, We have a Discord. We also have a speedrun.com page. You can access the Discord from there. We have a very welcoming community, very supportive. People actually like come into the general and they're like, "What the heck? All these top runners are coming into my stream and like helping me out."
What?
And yeah, a lot of top runners will do that. Also, be not afraid to join if you're a controller player, because you just saw, like, controller and keyboard are very closely matched, even with the whole lurch thing.
Yeah.
A controller player has held the world record before. That was Cash Mayo, and he currently holds the Gauntlet world record as well.
Yeah, the controller player literally won this race.
Yeah. So,
Despite me kind of doing a little bit of trolling in Blood and Rust.
yeah, but still, like, a very good showing from both players. Very well represented both of the input methods.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks for having us, Velocity Online.
Yeah, thank you for having us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, this was a blast.
Hey, thank you so much for submitting the run and making it happen, for getting us to the $3,000 mark, for getting us to the $2,000 mark. I mean, this run was absolutely insane. Just how much happened in the run and in the marathon. Just absolutely bonkers. Thank you all for coming by. Do you have any last words, anything you'd like to plug before you go?
I guess I have some shout outs. I mean, mostly just thanks. I mean, obviously, without a doubt, I like to thank the community that I've been in for the past almost 1 year, the VTuber community, of course. Specifically the Hololive ones. You guys are really amazing and supportive, especially with my hobby in speedrunning. I'd like to thank Brio for submitting his run to SGGDQ 2019. His run was literally the reason why I decided to start playing this game in the first place. And also to you, Zeke, for being such an epic friend.
Yo, let's go.
Yo.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'll just say I started speedrunning in general and Titanfall 2 at the start of the pandemic, and introduced me to this great online community of ours. I've had a lot of fun over the last 2 years.
For sure.
Yeah. I joined around the same time as Sanaka. Very, like, one of the best communities for like anything that I've ever seen. Also, let's plug our own things in here. On twitch.tv, I'm AngrySpaceDorito64. On Twitter, it's just SpaceDorito64. I do mainly art and speedrunning, and some other things I might throw in here and there.
I guess for me, twitch.tv/SanakaOsu. Obviously, I do stream some Osu as well. But I'm mainly a Titanfall guy right now. I've been running a lot lately. I'm also planning on running, hopefully, a little bit of Doom Eternal as well. I am going to be learning that, so I can't say how good I will be. But other than that, yeah, I mean, I guess Twitter, same SanakaOsu as well. I post a few stuff there. That's it for me.
Just SpectralSmitty, the same as what you see on screen for Twitter, and Twitch is just Spectral_Smitty.
Yeah, and you can find me at twitch.tv/Sweek. I stream runs sometimes. More importantly, I post memes on my Twitter.
Very good memes.
Twitter.com/Zweek, actually, with an A and a Y at the end.
Get this man's memes global. His memes are like top notch, and I love it so much. Especially the one on YouTube where it's just like why like Australian banknotes are based.
Yeah.
Well, that's not a Titanfall meme though.
It is not, but it's still
memes
good.
about Titanfall 2 speedrunning. Those are the good ones.
Yeah.
Those are the bangers.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it from us. We hope you enjoyed, and even if you have just questions, something we didn't cover here, you can come into the Discord and ask.
Yeah, definitely. And with that, thank you all for coming by, hanging out, doing the race. We're gonna move on to the next one. Thank you so much.
All right,
Thank
bye-bye.
you.
Bye bye.
See ya.